In the dark, a woman's jawbone glowed greenish-white, poisoned by the very matches she made to light the world. It began, as so many world-changing things do, by accident. Around 1826 and 1827, an English chemist named John Walker, working in Stockton-on-Tees, refined a paste of antimony sulfide, potassium chlorate, and gum arabic. He dipped sulfur-coated strips of wood into it and sold them as friction lights. His first recorded sale came on the 7th of April, 1827, sale number 30, to a Stockton solicitor named Hickson, priced at 1 shilling plus 2 pence for a tin case. For the first time, ordinary people could summon fire on demand in an instant at the scratch of a stick. Walker refused to patent his invention. He believed it should benefit the public. But others saw profit where he saw a gift. A man named Samuel Jones copied the idea and sold his own version as lucifers. By 1830, the imitators had driven Walker himself out of production. He had lit the spark, but the industry that grew from it would carry a hidden cost, and that cost would fall not on the inventors, but on the hands that made the matches. What was that cost? To answer that, we have to look at a single ingredient added to make the flame come easier. Part 1, the poison in the paste. To make matches strike more readily, to make them ignite anywhere, manufacturers added yellow phosphorus, also called white-phosphorus, to the match heads. It worked. The matches were easier to light, and the business became enormously profitable. But white phosphorus carried a secret. Its vapor was poison. The workers who dipped the sticks and cut and boxed the matches breathed that vapor, hour after hour, day after day. Slowly, it began to destroy the bones of their jaws. The disease had a formal name, phosphorus necrosis of the jaw, but everyone who saw it called it something blunter, phossy jaw. It came from chronic exposure to white phosphorus vapor, and it ate away at living bone. The first recorded case appeared around 1838 in a Viennese matchstick worker. From there, it spread wherever matches were made. In its advanced stages, the disease was almost unimaginable. The necrotic jawbone could glow a greenish-white in the dark. It could cause brain damage, and without surgery to remove the jaw entirely, it could kill. Imagine going to work each day to make the tool that lit the world's lamps, and paying for it with the bones of your own face. Who were the people trapped in this bargain? Overwhelmingly, they were women and girls. Part 2, White Slavery in London. In the East London district of Bow stood the factory of Bryant and May, one of the great match manufacturers. The people who worked there, women and girls, lived under a system of punishing rules. They were fined for talking, fined for going to the toilet, fined for dropping matches, fined for being late, and their wages were already desperately low, on average around 11 shillings per week for the women. Every deduction cut into a survival that was already thin. On the 23rd of June, 1888, a woman named Annie Besant published an exposé in her newspaper, The Link. She titled it, White Slavery in London. In it, she laid out the low wages, the brutal fines, and the dangerous conditions inside Bryant and May. The article named the reality plainly, and it landed like a struck match on dry tinder. The company was furious. There were pressures on the workers to sign statements contradicting what Besant had written. But something had shifted. The women had seen their own lives described in print, and they had seen the truth of it. The question now was whether they would stay silent, or whether they would do something no one expected these poor, powerless girls to do. Part 3, the Walkout. On the 5th of July, 1888, they answered. About 1,400 women and girls, walked out of the Bryant and May factory in Bow. They stopped the machines, they left their benches, and they took their grievances into the streets of East London. This was not a chaotic mob. The strikers organized. A strike committee of named women was formed, among them Sarah Chapman, Mary Knowles, Mary Cummings, Alice Francis, Kate Sclater, Mary Driscoll, Jane Wakeling, and Eliza Martin. These were the women who spoke, negotiated, and held the line, and they were not alone. Support gathered around them from across public life. The newspaper editor W.T. Stead lent his voice. Catherine Booth of the Salvation Army stood with them. Emmeline Pankhurst supported the cause, as did the Fabians, George Bernard Shaw, and Sidney Webb. What had started as the private suffering of poor women in a single factory was becoming a public reckoning. But the company still held the wages, the building, and the jobs. Could a few weeks of solidarity really force one of Britain's largest employers to back down? Part 4, Victory in Bow. It could. On the 17th of July, 1888, less than 2 weeks after the walkout began, Bryant and May agreed to the workers' terms. The company would abolish all fines and deductions, and it pledged that there would be no victimization of the strikers who had dared to stand against it. It was a stunning outcome. Then the women did something that would outlast even that victory. On the 27th of July, 1888, they formed the Union of Women Matchmakers. It quickly became the largest union of women workers in the entire country, built and led by the very people who had been dismissed as too poor and too powerless to matter. The significance rippled far beyond Bow. The Match Girls strike is widely regarded as a catalyst for what became known as the New Unionism, a movement that helped inspire the great gas workers and dock strikes of 1889. Ordinary, unskilled workers had learned that they could organize, and that organization could win. But the poison itself, the white phosphorus that rotted the jaws, was still in the paste. Winning fairer pay was one battle. Ending the disease was another entirely. The fight against phossy jaw moved on more than one front. In 1891, the Salvation Army opened its own match factory in Lamprell Street, Old Ford in East London. It used safer red phosphorus instead of the deadly white kind, and branded its matches Lights in Darkest England, proof that matches could be made without maiming the makers. The pressure kept building. In 1898, Bryant and May was fined in court for what was called systematic neglect, and the chief inspector of factories reported 21 cases of phossy jaw. Around 1900 to 1901, Bryant and May announced that it would abolish white phosphorus in its matches. Some nations had already acted. Finland banned white phosphorus matches in 1872, followed by Denmark in 1874 and France in 1897. Then came coordinated international action. On the 26th of September 1906, the Berne Convention committed its signatory nations to prohibit the manufacture, import, and sale of white phosphorus matches. Britain followed through with the White Phosphorus Matches Prohibition Act 1908, which banned white phosphorus in matches from the end of 1910, and it formally acceded to the Berne Convention in December 1908. The poison was, at last, being pulled from the paste. Part 5, What the Flame Cost. Step back, and the whole arc comes into view. A chemist in Stockton gave the world instant fire and refused to profit from it, hoping it would serve the public good. Others industrialized it, and in the search for an easier flame, they reached for white phosphorus, a substance that destroyed the bones of the workers who handled it. The disease it caused could make a jaw glow in the dark, damage the brain, and kill. For decades, that suffering was largely invisible, absorbed by women and girls in places like Bow. Then, in 1888, 1,400 of them refused to absorb it quietly. Their walkout won the abolition of the fines, built the largest women's union in the country, and helped ignite a wider labor movement. And within a generation, white phosphorus was being outlawed. Through the Berne Convention of 1906 and Britain's ban that followed, among the earliest examples of internationally coordinated occupational safety law. Every time a match is struck today, there is a history behind that small, safe flame. An accidental gift, a hidden poison, and a group of women in East London who decided their bones and their wages were worth fighting for. The light we take for granted was, quite literally, paid for. This story touches on workplace harm, illness, and exploitation. If any of it weighs on you, please reach out to a trusted person or a local support service. In the UK, information on workplace safety and rights is available through the Health and Safety Executive and Citizens Advice. If you are in distress, the Samaritans can be reached free at 116 123.